Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Power BI quiz show where I have Lucas as the co host. Welcome, Lucas.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing really, really well. Excited to be here live today talking about Teams and Power BI.
Yeah, such an interesting topic. And why, Lucas, are you so in love with the Teams integration in Power BI?
Well, used from my perspective, I'm using Teams every single day. I use chat constantly. I'm constantly making meetings. I'm constantly using group chat. And all these things allow me, working from home in the current situation, to be able to be really extremely productive. And my challenge, of course, I work on the Power BI team, but as a program manager, my job really is to achieve specific objectives. And those objectives are measured by data. And that data, how it's trending, how it's changing, what's happening, what's not, what did I think was going to happen, what hypothesis do I have, how do I enable my team to see the same data that I'm using? All these things empower me to make better decisions. And so the Teams integrations we have with Power BI allow us to bring that data directly where I'm collaborating every single day. And this is incredibly powerful. It helps organizations tap into data culture, make a data hub that everyone in the organization can access. And then through that process, make data top of mind, make it parts of meeting agendas, make it part of how you make decisions, which we think makes it easier to make better decisions over time. And so I'm super excited to be here, and we've got a really good and interesting quiz for you.
Absolutely.
So I'm super excited to see how this all goes down.
Yeah. And I also told you just before, I actually think I can learn a lot from the quiz today. Uh, yeah, the Teams integration, how long has it been around in Power BI? That's
Yeah, we started the Teams integration maybe 2 years ago or so. We started with a tab. It was you could add a report to a channel, and then over the last year, we've really expanded all of those integrations. And maybe I won't tell you all of them because there's questions in the quiz, but I'll go very quickly. We have a personal app, a tab, a search extension, a message extension on furling, and a bunch of other integrations. And so hopefully you caught all that, and there'll be a question about it later.
yeah, that's been a lot of features coming out just the last 6 months for the Teams integration. So there's a fast pace on what we can do with Teams and Power BI. Yeah, so thank you for the integration. And as you mentioned, you are actually a program manager on the Power BI team. Are you the one responsible for the Teams integration, or how is the responsibility on that part?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm personally responsible for all the Teams integrations that we do and enabling the rest of the Power BI team, all the engineers and program managers, to deliver their capabilities with rich Teams integrations. So I've been leading up the effort for about a year and a half now, and through that time we've really redoubled our investments. So we made major announcements last year. We made further announcements this year. So we've been really trying to enable people because especially over the as the pandemic has kind of like reached global proportions, right? A lot of people are working at home and working remote or working in a mixed situation where they're sometimes remote, sometimes in a physical location at work. And so making sure that you have all these tools and capabilities really available to you is a really critical way to enable people to work in the modern
Yeah,
way.
yeah, I can say the same. I use the features in Teams, but maybe not all the features. But we will come through them all in the quiz and see some examples or some use cases on them. So first of all, let's have a look at the winner from last week. So, or not last week, but the quiz 2 weeks ago. So the last quiz. Here we have all the participants, and we can see that Nixo, that's Ricardo from Spain, won the quiz with yeah 10 out of 10 correct.
Wow.
So that was very impressive. And what is even more impressive is that that was the third time in a row that Ricardo won the quiz. Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, that's really impressive. And yeah, the two last quizzes has been around Tabula Editor and Duck Studio, and now it's around Teams. So you can say actually that is three of the big applications that where we can use Power BI in here. So we are on the roll on that part. So here we have a list of all the ones, and we also have Alex Doubler on this list. So here we need to find, and actually the prize for the raffle winner for last week is a license to the upcoming Tabula Editor version 3. So we can't say when you can use the license if you win the raffle prize, but when it's released, you will be one of the first to get access to it. I can assure you. So that was donated from Danielle himself. So Lucas, will you help and pick a number from 1 to 25 on this list?
Yes, I can. And I just wanted to share my methodology here because, while I'm here talking about Teams and Power BI, we also have great integrations between Power BI and Excel. And we've done a lot of value done generation there. So what I did was I took 25 cells in Excel, and then I used the rand between function 25 times to generate 25 unique numbers. And then I used some fancy Excel expressions called the average expression to find out what number will won. And before I reveal the number, type in a comment here in the chat about which number you think won after 25 unique tries through the RAND expression. And let's see, do we have any numbers? Do we have any numbers coming in?
Let's see.
No, not yet, not
5?
yet. We'll see. I see some numbers. It is not 5. It is not 8. It is not 17. It is not 7. It is not 10. It is not 16. It is not 14. It is not 18. It's not 25. All right, no one's going to do it. No one's going to get it. Okay, so I will reveal it. It is exactly 11.9. And so rounding up, that's 12. So congratulations, number 12,
Let's
for
go.
winning the grand prize.
Let's see who is behind this random index number. So it's Stefan, and that's actually a colleague of mine. So yeah, congratulations to Stefan from Denmark winning. He was ranked 20 for the quiz last week, but had the random index number of 12. So that was the raffle prize for last week. The raffle prize for this week is a ticket for the Power BI Summit coming up in April, arranged by Reza Red and Lila. And there are a lot of good content on this virtual conference. Do you yourself, Lucas, have a talk?
I don't know if I have a talk. I think that we've had a call for content, and so I don't know yet. But definitely, like these power summits are just amazing, right? Like you can see, the quality of people, right? Like Adam and Tessa and Yaron and Miguel and Philip and so forth, and Elon from our team in Israel doing embedded. Just really high quality speakers on topics that will advance your knowledge and enable you to bring that sort of X factor to your team. With that enhanced knowledge and skills, you'd be able to achieve more with your Power BI investment.
Exactly. And it is a virtual conference, and it's actually running. Every session is running at 3 different times, so it's suitable for everyone that's in every time zone of the globe. Um, so yeah, we will see in 2 weeks who will win this raffle prize among all that participated in the quiz tonight or today. So for the grand prize for today, we have a $100 Lego gift card. So here you can see some of the things, and as you know, Ricardo actually won 3 times in a row, so he has a lot of gift cards to Lego now. I'm not sure what he will buy from it, but but he can, yeah, of course, buy something more expensive than $100. And if you win the quiz tonight, you can also top up the gift card and buy something else. But there's a lot of stuff in here. So that was short around the prices. So yeah, a $100 gift card to lego.com for the grand prize for the winners today. And then we have the raffle ticket that everyone that participates can be the lucky winner of. So let's get going with the intro to the Kahoot. So for those of you who have not participated in the Kahoot quiz before, you will see the questions on your monitor and then you will answer preferably by a secondary monitor or on your mobile phone. So you can go to kahoot.it now, and then you will put in a pin code that we will show you shortly, and then you can put in your nickname, and in case you win the raffle prize and not participating in 2 weeks, then please use your full name or Twitter handle so we can find you. And then also be aware we have a 3 to 5 seconds delay. That means that you will actually see the answer opportunities on your mobile device before you see the questions. So just that you're aware of that. And also when there's a timeout, it says 30 seconds. You probably only have 25 seconds, so don't let it run out. And we start with one startup questions just to get you all going with no point awarded. And then we have the 10 real questions delivered by Lukasz around Teams integration and Power BI. And you will get more points the faster you answer, but you won't get any point if you answer incorrectly. And then all the results are also posted publicly in a Power BI report that is made available public. So, are you all ready to get on with the quiz? I will go in and start the quiz. So, now the pin code should come up shortly. So here we have the pin code, and let's see if people are joining. Yeah, we have some people coming in.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
All these wonderful people joining in.
Let's see, we have 25. We have nearly 30. And the first question is not awarded any points, so you can also join later on if you're not ready yet.
I'm excited. We've already have more people in the quiz this time around than last time around, so I'm really excited. On that measure, we're succeeding,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Until now, I must say that actually the quiz with Will Thompson got the most viewers. So.
And how many was that?
That was around 47, I think, nearly 50.
Oh, really?
50. So, but it's nice to
let me log in with all my social media accounts right now.
yeah. But nice to see so many people joining. I can see some familiar Twitter handles here and some new ones. So that's really, really great. So let's get started. So, countdown.
Oh, here's a countdown.
And the first one is just a poll. So how often do you use Power BI in Teams? And just be honest. And with this question, you have 30 seconds, and some of the questions we have 60 seconds. So we shift around depending on how much text you need to see. So let's see.
All right, that's very, very interesting. We have a few hardcore folks. They're use it daily. I really appreciate that. And some folks are sort of trying it a little bit. You know, they've got a lot of people using it rarely. And there's a number of folks that, you know, you might want to start poking around right now before we get into the rest of the quiz, right? If you haven't tried it yet, because your knowledge will be tested.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be very interested. But yeah, I find that this is amazing. Like the more I use it in Teams, the more I rely on it in Teams.
Yeah.
And there's a number of features, and we'll cover them, I think, in a lot of the quiz questions that really help you collaborate faster with people. And so I'm very interested to see how your experiences will change over time as well.
Yeah. And here, as a lot of people using Real, I haven't tried it yet. There's a lot of learning getting out of this quiz. as well as having some fun, of course. So let's get started with the first question, which is a multi-select. So which Teams integration are available now? And you have 30 seconds to answer this one, and there can be 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of them correctly. You don't know.
Yeah, we will see what people come up with.
So, and please remember, as this is a multi-select, you have to press submit when you have put in your answers. And we have nearly 30 people answering, so most people have answered this one.
All right. So you're going to have to help me interpret, what does this mean?
Yeah, that means how many have been voting on the different parts. So not many have been voting on personal app.
Yes, yes. I think it's very interesting. So the correct answer is all of them.
Yep.
We actually have all these integrations. You, of course, can add a report as a channel tab. In September of last year, so 2020, we launched the personal app, which is we call it the Power BI app for Teams. And so you can immediately open all of the content you have in your Power BI service without leaving Teams. It appears on your left navigation right underneath where you have chats and activity and meetings and so forth. And that allows you then, without ever leaving Teams, right in the middle of a collaboration, to find all the data you need to support your discussions. And then, of course, you can take that data and you can add it to chat, either by pasting a URL from a web browser if you're still using Power BI service, or we have a button that says chat in Teams and you can send things to channels. You can even search for Power BI, right? And without leaving Teams, you can just find all the reports that you've been looking at, and other things too, that will help you quickly, in the middle of your collaboration, go and find the data that you need.
Yeah. So the personal app that not many people knew about is actually mostly just a Power BI service integrated into Team, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, and it's the service integrated into Teams, and we've changed a little bit of the UI styling to be more Teams friendly, because we really want to make sure that organizations and then individuals can treat that app as a kind of a data hub where it's immediately available. All the data you have access to, you can browse, you can create, you can find data sets, you can do a lot of different things in there. But we think it's really empowering for an organization to be able to roll that out and then have it just everywhere. So because a lot of times people just even don't know that Power BI exists. It's a website in a browser. They have to go remember to type it. But because it's now able to be right there in your Teams environment, it just helps people keep data top of mind, driving decision making using data, and what we really call data culture as we go forward.
I love it. Getting the data out to where people are. That's really nice. Let's see if we have anyone answering all of them. So you can have up to 4,000 points if you answered all 4, and we can see
Oh,
many
wow.
people did that, but a lot of people answered 3 of them correctly, I believe. So we have Rishi
Wow.
from London as number 1, and we also have a lot of other people. So let's have the next question.
So there's a question in the chat, or like, what's the difference between the personal app? But
Yeah,
oh,
sorry, I started the next question. We can take that afterwards. So what is the order of the tabs in Teams personal app? So a little related.
honestly, this is a very hard question. I think most people, even in the Power BI team, would fail to answer the question correctly.
Yeah,
But I want to make sure that everyone gets a sense of what's available in that app for you.
yeah. And when we just before we started the quiz, we got through the question, and you had to actually look it up to be completely sure around this.
And the reason for that is that I have more things in my version than you guys have in your version. So there's more coming. So just that's the only reason. All right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, home data sets, create, learn, and about, right? What we're trying to do in the personal app, The personal app and the Power BI app for Teams are the same thing, right? The personal app is just what Teams team calls it. So what it allows you to do is allows you to find everything that you have in your Power BI service, and that's really on home. We also made the datasets experience really easy to find in the app because for a lot of organizations, getting users to find the data they have access to is actually kind of hard. And so we put it right there at the top as datasets. And we're actually finding a lot of people find value there. The third one is create, right? This idea that you can make things, whether it's with quick create experiences like copying and pasting some data or connecting to an existing data set with some pretty magical experiences for automatically generating reports over top of that data. All those things help users who are new to Power BI find value, whether that's stuff the organization shared to them, data they could start using or looking through, and then creating their own. And then we thought it was really important for those users in Teams to learn about how to use Power BI. Because for a lot of people in Teams, Power BI is new. It's no longer the domain of analysts or BI people, business intelligence practitioners. It's about everyone in the organization. So we tried to make it really simple and clear and help people learn what value they can get from Power BI.
Nice. So a lot of features in this Teams personal app. So if you haven't used it, then go and look it up right after this quiz. And then you also, answered the question from Rishi at the same time. So thank you for that. Let's go and look who is on top now. And now we have Andy on the top, but it's very, very close here. So yeah. And Ricardo next to us is also on the scoreboard now. So let's see and have the next question. So how do you search Power BI in Teams? So what do you type in the search box? So
I would be stressing out like crazy with that leaderboard. Like, would I get the answers right? Like, would I win this quiz? I don't know. Like, this is pretty intense, I think.
absolutely. Let's.
I mistapped. Oh, I'm sorry, Panuth.
So it was the green option.
It was the green option. Yes, this is a nice hidden feature within Teams. If you have an app and it supports search, you can just mention the name of the app. And our name is Power Space BI. So you just type that and it'll auto resolve, and then you can find a list of your recent reports. So if you were just looking at a report in the Power BI service, it'll be in this little drop down recents list. You can just pick it and then open it in Teams. Or you can search for anything. So you can search for a report, a dashboard, a workspace, an app. Like, you can search for a lot of different things there and then go ahead and open those up real quick.
Wow, that's really nice. So here you can see it's the general Microsoft Teams search bar that you can just put that in. That was new to me actually, so I have already learned something. That's a really cool feature. I will try it out when we are done with this
Yeah.
quiz. Absolutely.
And for all of you, actually, I need to take a screenshot of this. For all of you who said number for the first one, just type the name of a report. I would love that too. Please submit to the ideas forum for Teams. I'm rooting for you, and I will make sure I pass on that feedback to the Teams team.
So making Power BI the most common use case for Teams and just type in the name. Yeah, I love that idea too. Let's see the leaderboard now after the three first questions. Oh yeah, we changed it then. So we have Debashi on top, but still very close. And Ricardo is now on the second place. And we have Amadeo also climbing up, and Rishi and Andy. Let's have the fourth question. So which isn't something you can start a chat in Teams with?
Yeah, and I apologize. This is a very tricky question. It tests the depth of your knowledge, but I think it's really cool to learn through this question both what you can do as well as see whether folks would like us to add the one that isn't available.
Exactly.
And so I see a lot of chatter going on about ideas, but do know that I look at it every day. And so if you do submit it, those ideas won't just go there and die. Do not worry. We track it on the Power BI team quite heavily. Oh, wow. I am very impressed with the answers here. Most people found it out. It would be great if you could put a chat message in the post to say, like, if you're actually using chat in Teams and if there's anything that you would like us to improve about it. That would be just an amazing thing to capture
Yeah.
here too.
So yeah, a workspace, and it kind of makes sense that you or why isn't workspace something you can chat with?
Yeah, I think it's a question of like where did we start, right? We started from collaborating about data, right? So dashboards. There's actually I only had 4 options. You can actually also start a chat on a individual dashboard tile. So we enabled all of those experiences for both reports, individual visuals in a report, dashboards, and individual visuals in a dashboard as well. And all that just helps you communicate more quickly with your colleagues about data that's important to you.
Yeah, so this feature is if I get it right, the other way around. So you start in a Power BI report or a dashboard, and then from there get the integration onto Teams. Yeah, we have some good feedback here. So thank you for you, and the chat is also available actually afterwards. So when we watch the stream, we have the chat also coming up. Let's see the leaderboard after this one. So now we have Ricardo on top, and Rishi and Andy and Amadeo, and Ragwell is climbing up on the leaderboard once again. So, but it's still very close. So next question here is also Multiselect, and it is awarded double points. So here you can score a lot of points. So adding a Power BI tab to your channel does what? So you have 60 seconds to this
I
one.
think we
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave 60 seconds on this one. This is kind of a nuancy and interesting, question, but we'll really test the knowledge that you have of how Power BI works in Teams today.
Yeah.
The thing that I really like about the tab is by putting a report in a tab, and it works in a channel. It also, by the way, works in a group chat or a one-on-one chat. It even works in a meeting. When you're preparing a meeting, you can add it as a meeting tab. It doesn't show up during the meeting presentation experience, but it's available there.
Oh.
And it's a great way to just make sure that all the analytics that your team needs is right there, just one click away. And so, for example, one of the scenarios I use it for is with my manager, and make sure that we know which reports we're going to be looking at together.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Because I've only used it as part of a channel, so put it in a nice feature.
Yeah, so this is great. I think most people got this. It does add a report to the channel and optionally notifies users. And when I say optionally, by default it will. It'll send a message, and you can uncheck that box if you don't want it. So we gave credit for both answers. And then the permissions issue is something you have to manage today on your own. And it's something that we're looking at how we could address as we go forward to make it even more seamless.
Yeah, that could be a nice feature so that you can do that as part of the Teams integration. Yeah.
Pinut is using the I pick blue only strategy. That's
And we
great.
have a question from Christopher. Will adding the report to a lot of channels in Teams slow down Teams?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think it will. So all it does is it just gives the ability for people using those channels to click over to the tab. So when you're just communicating in the channel conversation, that tab never loads, and so it's probably not even you won't even notice it.
No, so adding a lot of tabs is not a problem either. So yeah, a really, really great feature with these Power BI tabs, also to get the reports out directly to the users, and easy access to it. So that's a feature I've been using in Teams, I can say. Let's see the leaderboard now. We are halfway through the quiz, so there was a lot of potential points here, and Nexus is still on top. And we also have Heavy Christopher coming up, and Brian CC Lee, and Tony Lanson. So let's go through the sixth question here. Who can pin the Power BI app for Teams to the Teams left navigation? So who can do it? And here you also have 60 seconds. Yeah, there's an explanation for Kyle for the last question around it's like a bookmark in your web browser. So it's first opened up when you click on it. So yeah, I believe that's a good analogy.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's exactly what the point is, right? Is that in your channel or in your chat or group chat, you can just put things there at the tabs so that everyone can find them quickly. Something that else that's interesting is a lot of times in teams, people enter the team or leave the team, people change job roles, you onboard a new employee, right? All those scenarios is great to just have it there so they can find things quickly. All right. Nice. A lot of people got the right answer. I'm actually surprised by how many people got the right answers here. But the right answers are that the Teams admin can do this. So if you want, as a Teams admin, you can roll out the Power BI app for Teams to everyone in the organization. And many customers have done this. And for the customers, who did it, they're seeing a lot of increased usage of Power BI in their organization. So it really helps spread the data. That being said, if your Teams admin has not done it, you can just right-click that icon after opening the app and pin it. And then for you, you get to have it, and it's a personalization of your teams to make teams more responsive to your unique needs. So it really helps you be more effective.
Yeah, the Power BI app. That's a really neat features, and also one of the newest coming to Teams around Power BI. So and yeah, and the Teams admin, as you said here, can block it, but I don't think many organizations will do that.
Yeah, that's right. And what usually happens is Teams admins will block that out for some frontline workers, for example, people who should have a more
Mm.
constrained environment inside Teams. So there are reasons why they would do that, but for most people, they just let you
Yeah,
pin.
yeah. So for specific users, they can block it and have it available to other users. That's a good option. So should we look at the leaderboard? And we have Nexus and Debashi getting a lead. So let's
Yeah, but only 230 points separates them. This is like the Tour de France, the last couple of
yeah.
minutes, right? You never really know who's going to cross that finish line
No, no,
first.
no, no, no. And I can already now believe that we have the last questions also a double point question, so that we can keep the tension to the last. So let's have the next question. To use Power BI in Teams, what is the minimum license that is required? So do you need Power BI Pro, Power BI per capacity, premium per user, or only Power BI free license?
Oh wow, this is amazing. This result used. I think, a lot of people think you need Power BI Pro, but actually you can use it with Power BI free. And when you're in the Power BI free use case, that's you personally for your own. So like finding reports you have access to or using your My Workspace to do analytics, right? But it is true that once you start wanting to collaborate, so using the Pro license or using Premium will help you work in a collaborative fashion, but you can get started and see some of the benefits of it just for yourself with a Power BI free license.
Yeah. So you don't have any excuse for starting out using Power BI and Teams, and all users can do it. So nice. So let's see if that. Yeah, that actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On
Oh
fire.
yeah. 3 in a row. So and
Yeah, the other thing I'd say before we go to the next question is, Power BI Premium is a great way to just enable everyone in the organization, right? Especially for large organizations, right? For smaller organizations, there's a balance, a tipping point between Pro and Premium, but definitely like just tying together a ton of users with a Power BI Premium capacity and rolling out data to everyone in Teams enables you to have kind of like a game plan for how you move forward with it.
yeah. And who is the Pash? And I'm not sure I pronounced it right, but the Pashish, I believe it's a Twitter handle. Can you write in the chat and reveal who you are? We are on top.
I bet you it's Will Thompson.
You don't need to reveal yourself, so it's also completely fine. But if you win, you will have to do it, so you can get the Lego gift card. Yeah, that's okay. Let's
Yeah, and
just, yeah. No, it's not Will. It is. So congratulations.
yeah, definitely. You can use the My Workspace in Teams, right? So you can just use it just like you would My Workspace in the service to get value.
Nice feature. Yeah. So
I know that was a tricky one, right? So just keeping you on your toes.
let's have the next one here. So what data sets are shown in the data sets tab in Teams? So that's the data set tabs in the Power BI app, I believe, in Teams.
That's right. That's right. And the datasets tab is also available in the Power BI service today. So this is a sort of a knowledge about a brand new thing we released in late December that a lot of people have already started using. Like the usage on it is just crazy. All right, what do we have here? Aha, this is actually super interesting as a result. Um, it is true that you need to have permission to create content over top of that to see it right now. And the team is looking at whether it should be expanded and how to just every data set that you have permission to read. But right now it's really focused on the creation gestures. Can you create a report? Can you create a Excel workbook using analyzing Excel on that data set? And then seeing the reports that are related to it.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a little tricky thing there for us.
Yeah. But yeah, and Ben is right in the chat is the build permission. You
That's right.
and for me it makes sense. So you're not seeing any data sets that you can't use. So only data sets that you can actually create reports on are shown. So yeah, but a lot of people thought that was all data sets, but it
And
actually
it's
more
actually
clever.
very interesting. Yeah, and write comments in the chat about if you really think we should change that behavior, because part of this process is to, learn what everyone would like the tools to do to support how you work.
Yeah, and Rishi has a comment around Microsoft makes it too easy to assign build permission. And I believe that's part of the whole philosophy for Microsoft. Microsoft wants people to use the data and create reports on the data sets. So
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like we talk about self-service analytics, and we see a ton of scenarios where, especially when people are denied the build permission for security reasons, what they end up doing is they end up exporting that data into flat files, and those get stored on some random disk. They're never up to date. And what I actually find is that, there's a lot of productivity loss around it, that people then have to import that into Excel and clean it and mash it and all that stuff. When if instead they just had the build permission, especially coupled with row level security, so they're only pulling the data they should be pulling, then what happens is they can just do all that stuff in a refreshable way in Excel. And so then they do things faster. They don't have to redo things every week or every month. They can just move forward with it, and you get benefit too because you get to see those access events and audit logs. So you get to see who's accessing things. So it's actually an interesting kind of conversation customers are having even internally. What's the right
Yeah.
balance there?
Yeah.
But of course, super eager to hear like how this is affecting the current posture is affecting your organization. Would love to get that input.
Yeah. So let's see the leaderboard now. And now we have Nexus on top again. So, but we have still have 2 questions left, so a lot of points to get. So a lot of people can still win the quiz.
The gap has narrowed. It's only 16 now. This is amazing.
Yeah, I actually believe we had a quiz which was won with only 16 points. It was crazy. So let's see
Wow.
how it ends today. But we,
I should have said
yeah,
26, but anyway, it's narrower. It's less than 30.
yeah, that's really, and that's just a matter of seconds, I believe, in how quick you answer. So that's also important. But now with 2 questions left. So when you chat in Teams from a report, what URL is sent to the Power BI app? So you have 30 seconds to this one. So
That's right. Yeah. So it sends, and a lot of people got it right. But yeah, what we do in the chat and Teams experience is we actually create a bookmark link that's shareable, and it includes exactly what page you're on, the filters that you applied, all the slicers. And when you do it on a specific visual, we actually highlight that visual when you open that link. And so it's super easy for people to see what data you're talking about and continue the conversation, which we think is really important, right? You want to be able to collaborate very, very easily with everyone around you over top of the data you're using to make a
yeah,
decision. And I apologize, the online casino is not the right
no,
answer,
no,
but I appreciate that no one
yeah,
chose it. So I'm glad people are reading the
yeah,
answers.
yeah, and I think it's a really good use case for bookmarks because bookmarks is something people have been using a lot for data storytelling, but this is also one of the use cases and why bookmarks is it can be used as an integrated part and Teams is leveraging that feature. So Benny says that Tira he could abuse this to create shareable pres, present like a personal bookmark. But
Yeah, so you can't really abuse this. The link itself doesn't convey any permissions today, and so like you're just sending a view. It's like a filter that gets applied when the report opens. So it's super easy to just give it to anyone who has access. Now, we are looking at capabilities to make that even more seamless if you do have permission to share the report itself. Because when you look at Office documents like Word documents or Excel workbooks in SharePoint Online or OneDrive for Business, they have this ability to share with an easy link. Everyone in my organization has access. So we're looking at how we could incorporate some of those kinds of capabilities in the future. But for now, it's just a link that anyone who already has access can
yeah,
access it.
so yeah, a direct link you can say. So let's have a look at the leaderboard now, and you have a new on top. So the 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 Pashishi, I can't pronounce it, is back on top. But the last question is double points and multi-select, so there's a lot of points there in that one. So we can have a different winner. I believe all that is part of this uh, leaderboard now has the chance to win. But let us find out. So double points, but not multi-select. So what does this icon do in the Power BI app for Teams? So
All right. Yeah, most people got this right. So whenever you see at the top of like a Power BI report tab or in the Power BI app for Teams, this little globe icon, it means open what I'm looking at in Power BI, just in a web browser. So you can transition from the Teams experience into a browser experience. Some people like this because they can then pop out a window. They can just say, hey, I want this report in another window, or I need to open several reports. I can just quickly find them in Teams, open them, and still stay in my collaboration space. And then, so it's a great way to sort of use the two worlds that you're familiar with, or to transition from one to the other.
nice feature. So yeah, opens Power BI in a web browser. Let's see if that changes the leaderboard, and let us reveal the podium. So on our third place with 6 out of
Da, da, da,
10, we have
da.
Tony Lanza. And also with 6 out of 10, we have Depashi, and then with 7 out of 10 correct, who is it? Could it be Nexus Ricardo winning for the fourth time in a row? I, I
Wow.
Nexus, do you have some kind of tracker on my computer? You know, you know the right answers, or how do you do it? I'm stunned. It's really, really. So congratulations to Ricardo on winning yet another Lego uh, gift card. So yeah, thank you for all that was participating in the quiz. And of course, also thank you very much for your time, Lucas, and for creating this great quiz with these great questions. It was really
Oh, really happy and really thankful to have been invited to join and participate. And I hope that everyone who was on learned a little something about how wonderful the Teams experiences are that we have with Power BI.
yeah. I will absolutely go out and dig more into to the Power BI app experience because I haven't used that or the personal app experience. I haven't used that much. So thank you very much for your time and have a great day. You are Seattle time, right? So you're
That's
still
right.
around noon Seattle time. So you have and here in Denmark, I'm going out and have a beer. I can say after the quiz because it's night here.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you everyone for participating. And in 2 weeks' time, we have Chris Wagner as the guest of the show with a quiz around composite model. That's also a brand new feature in Power BI that was released as a preview here in December. So, so thank you, and hopefully see you all in 2 weeks' time. And then please go out and use all the great features around Power BI and Teams integration.